all because the narcissist figured out that you were at a vulnerable place, that you were lonely, that you were feeling empty, beyond melancholic, where everything brings a tear to your eye. They have a way of sensing that. They know you're having a bad day. They know you're in the lowest of lows. Your moods, your frequency is just low. And that's when they come back. That's when they'll hoover. That's when they see, where they gauge where you're at. Okay? And you get that false hope. How many of you guys have experienced false hope at the hands of the narcissist? I have many times in my past. And that's why I remain adamant in not going back to old familiar situations, entanglements, people. No matter how bad things get, you have to stay focused on the mission. If you go back to what's familiar and comfortable, and let me say uncomfortable, because it's really an uncomfortable situation. It's just that your brain adapts to the familiar. You adapt to uncomfortable situations where they become comfortable, and suddenly living in misery is comfortable. And the idea of the unknown, suddenly that's uncomfortable. The idea that maybe, just maybe, you might meet someone new one day, but in the meantime, you're not sure if or when. And you don't want to take that risk. You rather stay with what you know, because most people they don't want to endure hardships. We weren't wired to be alone. Like, we're wired for teams. We're wired for community, for family, right? For connection. We're not wired to isolate. So it feels bad. It feels really bad. You don't want to feel bad, so you pick up the phone or you settle for something that you know better. You know better than to settle for that, but you do. And then you ask yourself, why am I going through the same thing again? Why is this happening to me again and again? Then an outsider tells you, hey, because X, Y, Z, and you don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to be told what they should do and what they're doing is wrong. It's also in our nature to argue and defend our position, no matter how bad our position is. But that's one of the things that I lock in and work on during these days when it's storming. Maybe you have a storm in your head, right? And you can't give in to those intrusive thoughts. You can't give in. You can't quit. Oftentimes success is just, it was right there, right before you were about to quit, and you persevered a little longer, and bam, that's when things all of a sudden blossom for you. But most people, when things go wrong, they just quit. I've done that in my early journey too. Look back now, I'm like, if I only knew what I knew now, right? If I only knew the things I know now. I'm going to be like 100 years old saying that. Oh, I wish I would have known this when I was 20. I'm going to be 100, right? You guys have to listen to these lessons. They come to you sometimes through the videos, sometimes conversations, in a movie that you watch, something you read, something you overhear. At a restaurant, you're having dinner, you overhear a conversation. Conveniently, some people are sitting next to you saying exactly the things that you need to hear. They don't even know who you are, and you're eavesdropping and you pick something up. You're like, hey, wait a second. Was I supposed to hear that? Are we in a matrix? Are these things being placed to help us? I'd like to think so. I certainly can tell you that when my brain is firing at its best, when I'm locking in, when I got that meditation going, when I'm eating the right foods and I'm getting the right sleep, and I'm aware of the noise inside my head, suddenly that noise gets quiet. And the better I get at that, the more I'm aware of these moments of synchronicity where you pick up on information or frequencies around you that is like, hey, wait a second. I don't think nobody can realize, but this person randomly happens to be walking this way, randomly happens to be wearing a shirt that maybe says no contact on it. No contact. What the? I remember driving. Told this story before, but many of you guys haven't heard it. This was during the end of days with my psychopath ex, and I was driving down the expressway, and I look up and I see this billboard, and it's in red with white large letters, and it says, "Leave her." That's all it said. Now, I don't know, and I don't want to know if that was a slogan for some pest control, if that was an insurance company or something clever. I'm sure it was. I don't want to know what it is. All I know is that it said, "Leave her," and I never saw that billboard again. I never saw it again, just that one time. And I kicked myself in the ass because I saw that, and I knew that was a sign. I knew I was supposed to see that. I knew I was supposed to interpret that. And I was so deep in the fog and the trauma bond and you name it, that even knowing that this was a sign from God, I still doubled down on the lying, cheating, evil psychopath brat of a narcissist that I was entangled with at that time. Never saw the sign again, but I can tell you that I got burned again. Then I started seeing crazier things. I witnessed two major car accidents, one car away from me. Not a block away from me, one vehicle away from me, meaning that the next car was me, meaning that could have been me. I saw a car get obliterated in front of me into a million pieces. Luckily, nobody got hurt. I'm sure there was some sort of whiplash or something, but it wasn't blood or any death. I saw the airbag. Bro, it was scary, and I saw the whole thing. I saw that truck just run the red light. And a week later, also in front of me, another car hit a car in front of me, but it wasn't as drastic, but it's the angle that it hit it, the door came off. So that means the driver, there was no door. The door came off. And I'm like, and this again, this is the end of days. This was like 4 months already of withholding sex. This was already, basically I knew she was my enemy. This was going to bed every night cold, shivering, not because it's cold, but because I feel like I'm sleeping next to death. This was when I had tried to break up with her so many times, and I just couldn't go through with it. This was after I knew I knew this girl was cheating. I was seeing bruises on her thighs and little hickeys on you know, I seriously don't care, but sometimes when I bring back those thoughts, it's like, I can't believe that I put up with that. I cannot believe that I would be, because remember, withhold sex, but they're still sleeping naked next to you to tease you, to really mess with your head. So I saw a lot of things that these are the dumb things that we do. We are so caught up in that fog. We're in such a dark place. Our vibes are so low. We feel helpless. To think that I was on top of the world before I met her and ended up on the bottom of it. I ended up in Australia after this trauma. And that's when the gaslighting works flawlessly. That's when everything they say, even though you know they're your enemy and they're messing with you, that's when the things they say just, that's how you know you're dealing with a malignant, psychopathic narcissist. All right, guys, so if you got some value from this clip and would like to see some more stuff, click right here. And if you would like to see the entire video, click right here.